There is a man who went from being an overweight, depressed, broken exterminator working dead-end jobs to becoming one of the toughest human beings who has ever lived. He completed Navy SEAL training, Army Ranger School, ran over 60 ultramarathons, and held the world record for pull-ups doing more than 4,000 in 17 hours. His name is David Goggins, and his philosophy on mental toughness has changed millions of lives, including mine. Today I am going to break down the core principles that made Goggins unbreakable, and if you actually apply what you hear in this video, you will never see suffering, discomfort, or your own limitations the same way again. The foundation of everything Goggins teaches starts with what he calls the 40% rule. When your mind tells you that you are done, when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to quit, you are only at 40% of your actual capacity. That means when you think you have hit the wall, you have 60% left in the tank. Think about that. Most people quit at 40% and then spend the rest of their life wondering why they never achieved anything extraordinary. Your brain is a survival mechanism. Its job is to keep you safe and comfortable, which means it will send you pain signals, exhaustion signals, and quit signals long before you are actually in danger. Learning to push past that 40% line is where transformation happens. Every time you keep going when your mind says stop, you are rewiring what you believe is possible. Goggins talks about callousing your mind the same way you would callous your hands. When you first start doing hard physical work, your hands blister and bleed. But if you keep going, eventually those blisters become calluses, and what once caused you pain no longer even registers. Your mind works the exact same way. The first time you take a cold shower, it is torture. The 10th time, it is uncomfortable. The 100th time, you barely notice it. This is the principle behind everything Goggins does. He does not seek out suffering because he enjoys it. He seeks out suffering because every rep of discomfort builds a thicker layer of mental armor. Most people run their entire lives from the things that scare them, that hurt them, that make them uncomfortable. Goggins runs directly at those things because he knows that on the other side of that pain is a version of himself that cannot be broken. One of the most powerful tools Goggins developed early in his transformation is the accountability mirror. Every morning he would stand in front of the mirror, look himself dead in the eyes, and tell himself the truth. Not motivational fluff, not affirmations about how great he was. The raw, uncomfortable truth about where he was falling short. He would put sticky notes on the mirror with the things he needed to change and the goals he needed to hit, and he would face them every single day. Most people avoid mirrors, not physical mirrors, but the metaphorical ones. They avoid honest self-assessment because the truth hurts. But Goggins understood that you cannot fix what you refuse to face. The accountability mirror forces you to stop lying to yourself, stop making excuses, and start dealing with the reality of who you are versus who you say you want to be. Here is where Goggins separates himself from every other motivational figure on the planet. He does not just tolerate suffering. He embraces it. He runs toward it. He sees suffering as the ultimate teacher, the one thing that strips away every lie you have told yourself and shows you exactly what you are made of. Most of the world is trying to optimize for comfort. Shorter workouts, easier paths, less friction, more convenience. And that is exactly why most people are soft, unfulfilled, and wondering why they feel empty despite having everything. Goggins teaches that the path to becoming truly unbreakable runs straight through the things you least want to do. The run you do not want to go on. The conversation you are avoiding. The discipline you keep putting off until Monday. Suffering is not the enemy. It is the admission fee for a life of real purpose. The cookie jar is one of Goggins' most practical mental tools, and you can start using it today. The concept is simple. You create a mental jar filled with every difficult thing you have ever overcome, every challenge you survived, every moment where you wanted to quit but kept going. Then when you are in the middle of something brutally hard, When your mind is telling you that you cannot do this, you reach into that cookie jar and pull out a memory. You remind yourself of a time when you felt this same way and you push through anyway. It is not about positive thinking or feel-good motivation. It is about evidence. You are using your own history of toughness to prove to yourself in real time that you have been here before and you did not break. The cookie jar turns your past pain into your present fuel, and the more hard things you do, the more cookies you have to pull from. Goggins has a phrase that has become his battle cry: stay hard. And it means exactly what it sounds like. Never get soft. Never let comfort win. Never coast on yesterday's discipline. The problem with most people is that they get a taste of success or they reach a goal and then they relax. They take their foot off the gas and slowly slide back into the comfortable life they were trying to escape. Goggins never does this. After completing SEAL training, he did not rest. He went to Ranger School. After running his first ultramarathon, he signed up for more. Staying hard means understanding that the fight never ends. There is no finish line where you get to stop being disciplined. The moment you stop pushing is the moment you start dying. Not physically, but mentally, spiritually. Staying hard is a commitment to being in a permanent state of growth, no matter how far you have already come. Goggins often talks about being uncommon amongst uncommon people. It is not enough to be better than the average person. That bar is on the ground. The goal is to stand out even among people who are already exceptional. In SEAL training, surrounded by some of the toughest humans on the planet, Goggins was still the one pushing harder, running farther, doing more when everyone else had already given their best. This is not about competition with others. It is about the refusal to accept any ceiling on your potential. Most people compare themselves to the average and feel good about being slightly above it. Uncommon people compare themselves to who they could become if they gave absolutely everything they had, and they never stop closing that gap. That is the standard. Not good enough compared to everyone else. The best version of yourself that is physically possible. David Goggins did not become who he is because of talent, genetics, or luck. He became unbreakable because he made a decision every single day to do the things that nobody else was willing to do. If this video lit something inside of you, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because we go deep on mental toughness, discipline, and becoming the strongest version of yourself. Drop a comment below and tell me which principle hit you the hardest. Now close this video and go do something hard. I will see you in the next one.